Ooh, there we go, people. There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this party started real quick, like here. As today is going to be a little weird one. I have a doctor's appointment coming up, so it's going to be short. It's going to be a short one. So it's going to be a Q&A session. I want you to grab your cues so we can get them aid as soon as possible. It's going to be a quick one, though. So let me do this. I want to add a countdown to a date and time. Today is today, and I want this to be at, let's see, 8:45. This is just a reminder to me not to be here all day because, again, I got a doctor's appointment. So this is just a reminder to myself. Let's get some Q's and A's answered. All right, cool. Y'all can ignore this little clock, but this is for me, just so I can be paying attention to what's going on out in these streets. All right, so yes, again, if you have any questions, please throw them in and ask them away. I did want to talk about something that I talked about on the flow earlier today. I want to make sure that anyone who wasn't around to hear that particular episode gets this through their head. Okay, so we want to run back in and just cover a little quick topic. Yes, Paul, the internet is broken today, so get over it. It's going to be what it is. You weren't at the you weren't at the flow, so you didn't know. But yeah, Hawaii, we've just been having this weird storm that has been around for over 2 weeks, and it's causing lots and lots of issues, and it's really dumb. And even though I've adjusted this particular stream to come in at 1080, it's still probably crazy. But is what it is. We're still going to get it out there. We're going to ignore that. As long as you guys can hear, then we should be fine. If you can't hear, then we got us a problem. If you can hear, we're good to go. We're going to ignore all the craziness that is going on in the street. All right? So we're just going to ignore that. All right, let's go. Let me give you a quick little update. So coming up for you at the end of the month, well, tomorrow's the new month, so the end of next month, even though tomorrow's a new month, never mind, let's not get it twisted. I'm going to be speaking at Podfest Global, so go and get yourself registered, Podfest Global online. That's March 29th through 30th, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun, so come and check it out, especially anybody who's doing podcasts. It's a really cool way to, learn all the myriad things about podcasting. Okay. So I wanted to, again, cover something that we spoke about a little bit in the flow, and I wanted to give an opportunity to come and talk about it here. One of the things that, I was going to ask you this in the other show, Jerry, but I didn't want to get us in trouble. One thing you'll find out about me, my favorite national team is Holland. And yes, I say Holland. So Holland. Yes. So that is my squad, and I'm absolutely love Ten Hag. And funny enough, people ask me, how did that get to become your thing? Number one, orange is my favorite color. I think everybody thinks of it as purple because I use purple in my stream, but the purple in my stream comes from a love and support for the Alzheimer's Association organization. But my favorite color in the planet is orange. I buy orange everything. And Manchester United has had a long standing with Dutch players. And I think my love for orange comes all the way back to when I was a child and first getting into professional football and Johan Cruyff. So I'm going to put it on Johan Cruyff, and then wonders like Van Nistelrooy and Van der Sar and Daley Blind and, Memphis Depay. Like Van Persie, Wesley Sneijder. We've always, except Wesley, Manchester have always had like awesome Dutch players. So yeah, it's been my thing forever. I have long time fan of basically Holland football. Anyway, so what I was talking to you guys about, we talk about this for, everyone says I'm doing this this creator situation as a business, right? And I was doing some thinking for, upcoming workshop, talking to people about the business side of creating, because we always get into wanting to monetize out the gate, and everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to get to that YouTube. Why does YouTube require you to have 4,000 hours and 1,000 subs? Well, honestly, for them as a business, it's because you've proven the fact that you're committed to creating this content, right? The reason why they ask for such a high bar is they don't want to just, give their efforts to someone who's sort of like half-assing it, if you will. They want to give their efforts to someone who's actually putting in. It's like everyone's hopefully not, but many people have been in a relationship where you're doing all the input and the other person is not really there, whether that's a personal relationship or a business relationship or a family relationship. Everyone's been in a situation where they feel like they're providing more than they're getting back. There's no reciprocation. So for YouTube, they don't want the casual, I make a video once every 3 months and they don't want you in their monetization program. And they got to that because it used to be free for all, and then they fixed it because they realized that there were people who were sort of half-assing it or trying to game the system or whatever. With those numbers that they came up with scientifically, it makes it impossible to game the system, so they thought. Anyway, so that's part of it. But if you are getting into this from a business standpoint, please, I want you to go all the way back to the basics formula, and I spoke about this in the flow. Your revenue is basically the number of units shipped and the price, right? And we're considering that you're mostly doing this for free. There is no price. There's a cost, but there's no price. In other words, people can get this stuff for free, but you definitely have to work on your number of units shipped. If you can get your number of units shipped up high enough, then other people will see value in it and therefore will want to pay you per number of units shipped. Okay, so how does that look? If you get to the point where you're consistently getting 50, 60,000, 100,000 views on a video, a sponsor, say like Rode, will come to you and say, we feel that each one of your videos is worth 10 cents per views, which means they would, on 100,000 videos, they will give you, $500 per video, or they'll give you, $1,000 per video, or they'll give you $2,000 per video. And you're going to get to that because that's based on the numbers of shipped. So if you go all the way down to the basics of financing, that's how you get monetized, right? And the only way to get to those numbers is to actually produce content. It just is. It just is, right? I saw something the other day, Glenda, and you popped up in the brains because I saw a guy, young guy, who was showing how to make waterproof stickers with the Cricut. And that video was at like 300,000 views. It was only like a couple weeks ago. How to make waterproof stickers with a Kerr cut. What the heck is a Kerr cut? Yeah. It's at 273,000 views. And I'm like, bruh, that's a brilliant video, right? And of course, a couple other people tried to copy it. One is at 186, and the next one is down at like 12,000 views. But most of them are pushing over 200,000 views. Most of the videos in this category. One of them has almost 1 million views. So killer topic if you haven't already shot that video. But like, thanks to vidIQ, I can see that the one person who's doing it, a year later, this kid is still getting 22 views per hour on a video about how to make waterproof stickers. About how to make waterproof stickers with the Cricut. Okay, now I want you guys to see this because we're about to talk about it. Glenda said, that's nothing new. It's interesting. You know what's not new? Making a cup of coffee. I can tell you right now, I could go and find a video that was made within the last month or so that has close to 100,000 views about making a cup of coffee. How to write a novel is not new. Been going on since the Gutenberg Press. I forget the date. Excuse me, Mr. Clark, my history teacher. I forget when that came out, but that's not new. Like how to make money as a business, I just talking about, that's not new, but it doesn't have to be new. I'm telling you, this is still to this day a hot video, and you have all the equipment and the knowledge. So if anything, you need to make this video just to see what you get out of it. It's still a hot video. It's still pulling a 60 over here. The competition is low. Over here in this bottom corner, turn on the magic marker. The competition is low. It's still pulling a 60 out of 100. The competition is low. And you got people in here popping off massive views, right? Even though some of these go all the way back to like 2 years ago, you should make that video. I'm just telling you. It's a good topic. Like, it's obviously a good topic because this kid is still getting 22 an hour. This person's still getting 12 an hour. So that tells you it is a high probability. So I'm just telling you, if you don't have to listen to me, I don't know nothing. I'm just a YouTube coach. But my guess is you should probably make a video about how to make waterproof stickers using the Cricut, because the way you say it will be different. I'm sure most of your audience don't want to hear Chad over here talking about it. I'm just saying. This thumbnail, though, is brilliant. This guy took it to the pool. So that's kind of brilliant. But yeah. Like if I was to make that video here, my thumbnail would be pulling a surfboard out of the water, dripping wet, and boom. There you go. Like that, to me, that is a brilliant situation. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So, it's popped in my head. All right. So, I think, again, I just want to remind everybody, because now that we talk about it all the time, many content creators are talking about how they are doing this content creation situation as a business, and I think that's fantastic. But make sure you're remembering the only formula that matters, which is the revenue formula, is you have to get to units sold, delivered in this case, by the price, and there's no other formula. So now you got to crack the nut of how are you going to get that? How are you going to get the number of plays, right? Whether that's in your podcast or your shorts or whatever, right? There's the basic formula. And now, once you know that, the only way for this to happen is for you to get some view counts going, or build some know, like, and trust in some other format. Now you got to come up with a formula. How do I get more know, like, and trust? Now, here's an interesting portion of that conversation. Again, people, you got Q&A time, so throw some Q's in. We only have a little bit of time left. Where'd it go? All right, we got 16 minutes. I just think part of that equation is there was a video that I watched recently and a conversation that came up in another group that I'm in. And they're saying that every time you put out a monetary ask to your community, you reset the value clock. Okay? So the key to winning in this game is provide tons and tons and tons of value and then turn that into a monetizable situation. But this theory posits that every time you do a monetary ask, you reset the value clock. So what does that mean? You got to go back and find more and more and more and more value to bring to the front, to bring to the party. That's an interesting thought, and yet it makes so damn much sense. Because what everybody's wanting to do is shortcut and get straight down to the six figure, but they don't even know what value they're providing. They don't know what purpose they're providing. They don't have a plan of attack. They don't have a mission. And I understand there is a definite needs wants situation because maybe you need to make that money, and that's fully understandable. But you make it harder if you don't have a plan or a direction. You're going to have an uphill battle, right? So there's the people that want to make personality-based channel. Personality-based channels are really hard to pull off. They just are, right? And if you have a really interesting personality, interesting life story or something like that, maybe you can pull it off. But they're really hard to pull off. They require a different level of work. So having a clear guidance, having a clear mission, having a clear purpose will get you there a lot quicker. But it's still, none of this stuff is going to break the raw answer. None of this stuff is going to break the raw answer, which is you got to get the number of views up till eventually someone can put a price on those views. That's basically the formula. The roadmap for each individual person will be a little bit different, but that's basically the formula. It seems like 1 and 2 in 10 pieces of content can have sales aspect without it feeling like a content ask. Yeah. In a way, I believe that's about right. I think even on the higher end, right, for someone who has an established channel with established things, like they should still probably put out like 10, 15 pieces of content before they sell another new product. Because otherwise, every show looks like, it's a product sales, right? And that just, I don't know. It doesn't work. The only way to get views is to create content. Now, Dina, here's something interesting. I'm glad you brought this up. I have been looking at some channels that put out like literally 2 videos a month, but the level of quality, the level of value that they pack into their videos is so freaking high that it's kind of incredible. It is kind of incredible. But that requires a different level of work. That requires some filmmaking knowledge. That requires some high editing knowledge, some high shooting knowledge, some high B-roll knowledge. Or the information that you're delivering is so important to a person that every time someone watches that video, it has the purportance to change lives. And if that's the case, you can get away with it. But yeah, it seems like 1, 2, and 10 pieces of content with a sales aspect feeling without, yeah, I think that's about right. Because it gets bad when it looks like, man, they created another product. And I have seen channels where they have a bunch of digital products, but each one of their digital products deserves a rating of 33 and a third. Like they're just cranking them out, but they're not really that high quality. So you got to be careful with that. Yeah, that was it. That was all I wanted to. That was the only quick reminder that I had because I think it is something that we have to think about. Oh my God, I just watched this great video from this Australian dude, and it made me think of you, Dina. And I'm probably never going to be able to find this, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Hey, why is it? I know why that's not working. Hello. I saw this great video, and Baba and I were watching it, and the guy was growing ginger in a container. Ginger, W-I-N-G, ginger. And what he was saying was he was talking about like just go getting one from the store. Hey, ow, my ear. He was just talking about going to get one from the store and then, making it in just your standard, that about your big pot. I know there's a number, there's a size. I don't know what that is. and it was super super interesting. It's actually a really short video, um, but I found that interesting because I think one of the topics we were talking about on the flow this morning is how there's certain things in every echelon, right? So whether it's Glenda and stickers, or Rob with Disney stuff, or radiology stuff, or Paul with moderating, or me with live streaming, there are certain things that we do that is just breathing, but to the other person is Pythagorean theory. Okay, I'm sure to anybody that does what it is that you do, Dina, or with this self-sufficient me guy does, is pretty much like breathing to him, taking a rhizome and breaking pieces off and popping it into the dirt and then just watering it properly, making sure it has good drainage, things like that. It seems so simple, but I tell you what, I didn't know anything about putting aqueous rocks or whatever at the bottom in order to make it drain properly, right? Like I wouldn't know that. But considering things are getting super expensive, right? Considering things are getting super expensive, and they say if you say it 3 times, people will sink it in. Considering things are getting super expensive, this is a very timely video right now. I wonder if he's still getting any pop on this like view per hour. I'm super curious. Um, because now, oh, look at this, man. This was getting 63 views per hour. This was getting 10. This was getting 311 view per hours. Okay? Okay? Right? Maybe that's why I found it. Yo, this video is 8 months old and it's getting 311 view per hours. Why is that? Why is that? Because things are getting so god awful expensive right now that people are going to be trying to figure out how to grow these mushrooms, how to grow these little onions, how to grow gingers, how to grow the type of things that they always buy. Right? Right? See, this is what I wanted to know, and I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're there. Tina, this is exactly what I wanted to know. I think that there's things that we do on a daily basis, which is muscle memory to us, which is blinking the eyes to us, which is taking the weed to us, but is Pythagorean theory to somebody else. And I can tell you right now, I could just see with the cost of everything being so stupid, also with the weather being kind of crazy, anything that is stuff that people buy that's easy to grow, almost bulletproof because it's kind of a weed that we eat, edible weed, if you will, not that type of edible weed, but actually that type of edible weed too, because people are watching those videos. I think there is a massive amount what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, Doc. Content gap. I think there's a content gap right now that needs filling, right? So is according to this guy's video and a couple other I watched, like I can do this on my lanai, which you guys call a balcony, right? I can do this on my lanai. Just throw them suckers out there, put them on the table with a good pot and mix, and store-bought pot and mix because I haven't, the time to make a diatomaceous potting mix the way Dina made. But I could just take a couple of pieces of my world's famous rhizome, sprout them underneath the sink, throw them in this box out, and sit them out there on lanai, and they'll be perfectly fine. I just clipped a bunch of really good green onions I got from Korean market, and I saved the butt. And so I'm trying to figure that out because those are things that are just easy to put outside and will grow by themselves. And, boom. Here's another good one. Oh, sorry, she can't see that. Why your man's out here causing trouble to the world? Another brilliant one. 9 things you should always grow. Pulling in 128 views per hour, right? Boom. Like one sweet potato into 100 pounds of sweet potatoes. That is a title. I don't know if, he required something special, but that is a title. How to turn one sweet potato into 100 pounds of sweet potato. right? Again, you probably know this stuff. I have no idea what these Ken folks is talking about over here. I'm just a city boy. Uh, this is crazy. 953 views per hour. How to grow garlics in plastic bottles. How to grow garlics in water bottles. Again, 10 million views in 11 months. So now that we're having a financial situation, I know you got other things you're working on and other things you're busy on. You might want to get into some of these, how to grow some stuff, because we're going to have to start learning. Regular city folks is going to have to start learning to do some self-sufficiencies until the world gets its economy back in order. But also, it's just smart. The way the weather is going and whatnot, like anything people can grow in the basement, good looking out. Anything people can grow in their kitchen, good looking out. So I would say between you and your friend Chad, Chad GPT, there's your next 10. None of them, this is going to be the hard part, okay? Everybody, help me give Dina the evil look. Sis, none of them have to be recorded at Dina quality. I want you to record them at YouTube 2010 quality. Because if you record them at Dina quality, it's going to take you forever. Your quality is really good. I want you to record them dirty. Okay? Right? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, at least just start to get the ideas into paper somewhere that you can work from here. If you can't get the video parts out right away while you're in between shows, or waiting for the dog to dry after you watch them or whatever, I just made that up. Put it on paper and start sending it out as a newsletter that Ken Folks is subscribed to, based off of last week's episode. Based off of, like somewhere, boom, there you go. I like this right here. The new Dina quality is 14 Pro Max handheld with no mic. Yes. Bro, I don't know why. It just dawned on me this weekend as I was looking at some of these, and I was like, fam, so many people are like resorting to this, and how I got sent down this rabbit hole. Can I tell y'all real quick as my last 2 minutes? This guy, I'm going to show you his video, his face real quick, and you guys will know who he is. He's been getting a lot of views on his shorts. Oh, don't talk, dude. He's been getting a lot of views on his shorts. And no, stop talking. You cannot, never mind. Stop. Go away. You can't make YouTube shorts play and shut up very simply. So let me stop that real quick. Anyway, so I was looking at this dude's videos because he had a thing going around about storing avocados in water as a way to make them last longer. And it turns out, even though that dude gets a lot of videos, a lot of views on his videos, his information is completely wrong. Soaking avocados in water is a good way to harm yourself. It turns out that any bacteria or anything that grows on that, or any just not good things that are on the skin, soak it in the water, softens the skin, makes it easier to penetrate the skin and therefore get inside the avocado. So if there's E. coli or, botulism linotoxin or something on the outside on the skin, and you soak it in water, calling yourself preserving an avocado, you're basically soaking it into the meat, and then you eat that and you can get sick. So the FDA was like, please stop making videos teaching people to soak their avocados in waters as a way to keep it fresh. That's not it. All you need to know, and again, stuff I don't know, but a person like Dina or someone in her vein could create. Did you know that storing your avocados next to lemons, because they're complementary, or any other citrus fruit for that matter, will make them last longer in the fridge? Same reason why when you make guacamole, you put a little bit of lemon juice, because the limonene terpene or whatever that's in lemons keeps it from turning brown. Well, that also works if you just kept them in the same drawer inside the refrigerator. You can keep avocados up to 3-4 weeks without dying. So you get them to the softness you like, whatever your squeeze level is. Mine's is like press a dent and it don't bounce back, just that level of soft. As soon as it gets to that point, put them in the refrigerator next to your citrus, and you can probably stay at that level for 4 weeks solid. And by finding that out, that's how I started down this whole trip of what's all the, myriad things that's available. And that's how I figured out that there's the sustainability, like make your own stuff content is blowing up right now because of just the price of everything. So, right. But I know she's dogging right now. Not a right word. She's busy doing dog shows right now because she won. This is funny. I'm never going to get to say this and actually be right. What's that little bitch name? Not just joking. Because it's actually the boy one. But her, Dale, there's his name. Right? Is that his name? Wait, that's Alex Kidd. Man, I forgot. Anyway, Dina's dogs won some trophies recently, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff out here in these streets. And if you guys have any questions, by all means, sorry, it has to be a quick show. I was right. It was Chippendales. The ribbon is bigger than the dog people. The ribbon is freaking massive. Yes, Dale. Dale is funny when Dale's in the refrigerator, when Dina has a shot of Dale in the refrigerator being funny. And yeah, I didn't. So Dina's dog and Alex Kidd is the same. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys. I must go to get my arthritis checked out right now. And we'll find out soon. It was all good in the hood. Just this finger keeps getting stuck when I'm typing. I'm like, and I can't move it. I'm like, I got to crack it back into place. It just probably comes from years of squeezing a whiskey bottle too tight. No, it's from hand tools, from sanding and stuff like that. Anyway, I will see you guys on Saturday. Yeah, I just want you to think about, like, what are some content gap opportunities that might be coming up because of things that are going down. Something tells me that this winter is going to last a little longer than normal. So any stuff that you can do that can give people something to do on days where the weather is just trash might be helpful. And then if you happen to be in a position where you can make videos about saving money in any way, shape, or form, that also might be good content. And I'm glad Dina came today because it gave me an opportunity to show her the opportunities that exist in that field right now. Yeah, it's kind of psycho, but I understand it because this is almost trend jacking, but not in a cheesy way. Like, we're not talking about the Oscars and when somebody gets slapped this week, you're doing something that will actually help people and change their lives. So always keep that helpful side of the equation in the can. All right, folks, I will see you guys soon. I appreciate you. And as we say in these streets, chee-hoo.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine.